since Dr. Hagler made arrangements to come to this very moment, All Saints Day, now I just let you know, he is a living saint since 1994. Can you imagine that? I have watched his life and his wife, Marilyn, and she is the sweetest a person that she's always behind the stage, or we say in the Japanese, and Marilyn is under the ground. In Japanese, the stone who holds the building, the foundations are always under the ground. And Marilyn's just upon her, Dr. Hagler can stand to show his macho-ness. But again, let you know, this All Saints Day, again, I emphasize the ministry of the Dr. Hagler and his wife Marilyn to us since 1994. Constant, even keel. I never seen him get so angry or so deep in the valley, so deep with depression. He's always even keel. I just want to know what is the secret of his even keelness, or since 1994. And then I realized his faith in Jesus Christ, who is always the same, yesterday, today, forever. I think his faith is based on that. So you and I today, I think we will learn a few things from learning the life of the saint. And thank you, Dr. Hagler and Marilyn. Thank you so much. Now, what is going on today? I had a grave conflict in my heart. I said, Lord, what do you want me to say? Or where to start? And how much? Whatever you have. Now, I just let you know, I still do not know exactly what he had to say. So this morning I was looking at the Bible. I think it came through.
I'm going to fix it real quick.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And the Jeremiah chapter 33 and 3, I think, and the God had said, I have given you what's showing you whatever he has in my heart. So I'm going to pick up along the way whatever God gave me to share with you on this. The forgiveness you mentioned, yes, it's most difficult for me. As the number one son of Samurai family, did you know my bloodline, Tanamori bloodline, belonged to 9th rank of the Shogun Tokugawa? And the Tokugawa Ieyasu dynasty had 60 different families comprised to make the Shogun dynasty. And the Tanamori is ranked number 9. I just let you know, I'm so proud because my father said, all the trouble you go through in this life, just remember who you are. Know who you are. Humble beginning. And then he explained, Takashi, you came in this world naked. Now one day you're going to return naked. Whatever you accumulate between the birth and the death, whatever you may accumulate, you're going to leave it behind. So once again, he reminded me that we came humble beginning and return where we start. Then, among all these things my father taught me, the last word before he left, he said, "My son, the greatest way to avenge your enemy is to forgive." I repeat what he said. "My son, greatest way to avenge your enemy is to forgive." Then, he said, "Then, Takashi, learn to live for the benefits of others first. Then we all benefit." After learn to forgive, he said, "Then learn to live for the benefits of others." And thus he is gone. I was only 8 years old. I lived in a village in the central Hiroshima prefecture. Traditions controlled every villagers. And either for you to survive, either you have to follow, comply the rulers of the village. I was kind of guy that, I revere every leaders. So each time I run into, leader said, "Takashi, if you are like your sister, then we'll accept you." And I said, "You blankety, blankety, blankety," in a Japanese. Toshiko-san here, and she might know if I say for you Japanese, but I better not say it. But the Bible said, if you think in your heart, you have already committed sin. But truly, the pressure of the conformity in this village I lived, and it had driven me to the place I committed suicide. I said, "Daddy, I'm coming home. I'm coming to you. Would you receive me? Daddy, please forgive me that I'm coming to you." Without honoring, carry on the Tanimori family's name, then I attempted suicide by taking a sleeping pills. Took 10 different drugstores to get the sleeping pill, total 100. And I took that November 15, the night, midnight. I took it. Then 3 days later, I found myself in a hospital. I failed to take my own life. I wasn't worthy to even to die. I thought my daddy rejected me because he did not receive me. And I was so angry at now myself that I wasn't strong enough to go through. As much as my dad said, "Son, know who you are. That will carry you through no matter what circumstances." But I said, "Daddy, I'm sorry that I failed you." But I didn't have the strength to try again. Fear of, once again, my daddy's rejection. So it took next 2 years. See, how can I take the revenge on the Americans who destroyed my family, who took my daddy, my samurai fathers, as the guy, protector, provider. So after 2 years of struggles, guess what? I found the city official told me, Mr. Tanimori, we have good news for you. The America has opened a special immigration quota for the survival of Hiroshima. So they, once again, I repeat, took 2 years to process the paper. Now, I came to America on June 24th, 1956. That's long, many of you are not even born here. I came, I was 24. And I was told that American people will receive you with open arms, and their children going to sing for you, welcoming you. So I left Tokyo, came through the Alaska, Portland, Oregon, and San Francisco, and Fresno, California. And from the terminal, Fresno International Terminal, from there directly put in a truck, back of the farming truck. And they dropped me off at Delano, California, migrant camp, which I had no idea. I was chosen as part of the special program, migrant labor policy. And the other ones, I did not know that I was part of the program called, what do you call it, commission? There, would you say? ABCC. That's how the radiation impact the human bodies. I became the guinea pig for the next 6 months in the hospital. They examined me, this and that. And I asked God, I asked, Daddy, I'm coming to you. Will you receive me? I asked this angel to come to. Instead, that God somehow, whom I did not know, but God said, the head nurse, her name was Mary Furr, in Modesto, California, Modesto State Hospital. That was the last crazy people go. And today, on the site of this Modesto State Hospital became the Modesto Junior College. So if you study it, you'll find the history of the Modesto State Hospital. I was there. They did everything they could. And the doctor begged, we have not yet finished the work. So how the radiation impacted human body. But there's a Mary Furr, the head nurse. And to summarize her service for me, she said many times today to doctors, no, Takashi does not need all your treatment. All he needs to know that once somebody love him. At the end of 6 months, the day came the judge from the Stanislaus court, and he said, either we'll continue to experiment this Takashi Tanimori for the medical reasons. All the argument went back and forth. And once again, just Mary said to the judge, "Sir, he does not need all this treatment. All he needs to know that there is someone greater than anybody else. It loves him. Would you please give him the chance for him to find someone who loves him?" So under her pleading, judge released me from the hospital. Mary became my new guardian. She became the new angel. And through her desire, and watching her the following years, did you know I went to lake on a Baptist camp, summer camp, lake, Clear Lake, California. There's a Baptist camp. First time I heard the gospel, John 3:16. Did you know the preacher was preaching on that Friday night? His name, Merrill Booth. He fought in the Pacific War, and did you know he was swinging the right arm? The arm he did not have. The Japanese soldiers, I guess, whatever he did. But anyway, he lost the arm fighting the war against Japan. But this preacher swinging the arm, and he's preaching John 3:16. For God so loved the world. And the first time somebody said, God loved you, then remember what Mary said. There's somebody who loved you. I want to get to know him. The service is over. And that's an hour later, I'm still standing behind the bench. I'm grabbing the bench in front of me and like this. And the other preacher, the friend, is pushing me. Takashi, why don't you go in the front and to trust Christ as personal Savior? But I said, no. I stood there over hours. My hand turned white and it just could not move until the moment the Mary's voice returned and said, Takashi, there's someone who's greater than anyone else who loved you. Just say yes. Just say yes. The moment I say yes, whatever you are, whoever you are, whoever you are, yes, I say yes. The moment I say yes without any understanding, but simply believed what I heard. When I say yes, the moment I say yes, my hand just softened. And I was able to move from the bench, and I knelt down. I said, Jesus, thank you, thank you. That was back in when? Mid-50. Maybe just 60. Then from there, my journey begins. I said, how can I say thank you to Mary? who led me to Christ as my personal Savior, who gave me the understanding, the forgiveness. And I just want to know, how can I say thank you to Mary? I said, why didn't I become like Mary? Well, that's simple, isn't it? But there I was in San Francisco, then guess what? I went to Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota for schooling. For next 9 long years, cold winters. If you forgive me, if you stand in the street in the pee on the winter, and ice go on. Yeah, it was that cold. In the summertime, and all the mosquitoes carry you through. So you got to have the 200-pound anchors hold you down. And they talk the, what do you call it, statement, muggy hot. You don't have to go to any sauna. I mean, just go to Minnesota in the summertime. All this, I spent 9 years. The reason I stayed 9 years, just to let you know, secret. Before I went to Minnesota, I met one of the missionary, American missionary, Joe Miko. He spent 30 years in Japan, he said. He said, we know the Japanese people. Thank you. Excuse me. He said, I know the Japanese people. They get hot and cold in the same night. And he had repeated, he said, I've been in Japan as a missionary for 30 years, and I know who the Japanese are. And that really burned me. And I said, Joe Miko, I'm going to prove to you, you're all wrong. And that's the thing that kept me for 9 years in Minnesota. Isn't that stupid? I got I finished college 4 years. Then I got 2 master's degree, post degree. And total 9 years I suffered, all because tried to prove Joe Miko that he was wrong. But while I was in the ministry, in the seminary, I want you to know the teaching my fathers. He always said, my son, don't you ever, ever compromise the truth for the appeasement, for the short gain. My son, always honor your heart with truth, regardless of consequence, outcome. Do not ever compromise the truth. And I was 8 years old. That teaching kept me through all these years, because he said, once you sell your heart, lose your self-respect, there's no price in the world to buy it back. Wow. I was only 8 years old. Today, you know how old I am? I'm 83 years old, and grandpa with 5 grandchildren. Wow, can you imagine that? And here I am. And I said, Lord, I need another 15 more years at least to finish the work you have entrusted me. So anyway, I just want you to know today, here, I have so much to say to you, but the Mary who told me there's someone who loved you. I want to get to know him, who give you the peace, the forgiveness. And this morning, I challenge you, if you have not come to him, the who loved you, if you do not know who is the one who loved you, I think it's time for all of us to come to know him. And so, once again, I just let you know, today, Dr. Hagler and his wife, Marilyn, I just truly grateful through their ministry, watching their lives. They have enriched my life so much. The one thing they taught me, we need to be even keel. We cannot go up and down, what do you call it, roller coaster or the yo-yo. Our lives so much influence our own emotions. So we go up and down, up and down. But Dr. Hagler, since 1994, he and his wife taught me or demonstrate that you can be stabilized by knowing the Christ who is the same yesterday, today, forever. So thank you so much.